5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Manager Johnson, would you be doing the roll call this evening, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Thompson? Present. Mr. Carlson? Present. Ms. Siegel-Morris?
Present.
Mr. Mayor?
Present.
Mr. Stump?
Present.
Ms. Scher?
Present.
And Mr. Applebaum?
Present.
And Mr. Finer is via Zoom? Okay.
All right. So this being the first meeting of the year, we have the opportunity to reorganize and elect a president and a vice president this evening. So as mayor, we do not have a president of council right now, so I'll start that process. So I will open up for nominations for council president.
I'd like to make a nomination.
Okay? Sure.
I'd like to nominate Caroline Thompson for the position of president.
Okay. Caroline Thompson. Are there any other nominations? Going once? Okay. Being none, we'll vote on the nomination. First of all, let's make sure, Caroline, do you accept the nomination?
I do, thank you.
Okay, you got it. All right, so all those in favor for Caroline Thompson for council president, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Congratulations. So that's my fame for today. I will pass the meeting over to Council President Caroline Thompson. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you to my colleagues on council. I don't take for granted this opportunity to sit at this table with each of you and to make good decisions for this town, and I'm really looking forward to a productive year with no vacancies to fill. I will continue to make that joke until it's true. I will now accept nominations for council vice president.
Madam President?
Ms. Scher?
I nominate Kim Siegel-Morris.
Thank you. We have a nomination for Kim Siegel-Morris. Are there any other nominations?
Yes, Madam President. Ori Finer?
Thank you. We have a nomination for Ori Finer. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, we will vote on the nominations in the order that they were received. All those in favor of Kim Siegel-Morris to serve as vice president for the upcoming term, please say aye. Oh, wait, hold on. 1 second. Because we have two people nominated, I do want to give them an opportunity to say something because we have some people who are new to council and might appreciate hearing from the two candidates. Not to put you on the spot, you can just say, I don't want to say anything. Kim?
I'm very honored to be nominated by my fellow council member, Michelle Scher. I enjoy serving as in the vice president role in the past and hope to do so in the future. And I appreciate Yardley's vote of confidence in me and re-electing me to this position.
Thank you. Mr. Finer, any words for us? Marginally well.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm flattered, I'm honored to be considered the role. First, I just want to appreciate Caroline just for being such an effective and balanced leader and for the tremendous time that you put in. And I really appreciate everyone here. We're all here as volunteers. We're not just working for free. We're working to the point of the deficit. We're taking away our families, our jobs, and our homes. And it's because we all love Yardley and want what's best for Yardley. And we all
Thank you, Mr. Finer. Let's do a roll call vote, just so we're able to count here. So I think we're going to split. All right, we'll start down on this end. Mr. Applebaum, we're voting on Kim Siegel-Morris for Vice President.
No.
Ms. Scherer?
Yes.
Mr. Stump?
No.
I will vote yes.
I will vote yes.
Ms.
I vote no.
Carlson?
No.
And Mr. Finer? The motion fails. We will now vote on Mr. Finer for Council Vice President, starting down on this end again. Mr. Applebaum?
Yes.
Ms. Scherer?
No.
Mr. Stump?
Yes.
I will vote nay. Ms. Siegel-Morris?
No.
Mr. Carlson?
Yay.
The motion carries 4-3. We have a new Council Vice President. Congratulations to Mr. Finer. And I think we can all thank Ms. Siegel-Morris for your tenure as Vice President and all that you have done for this town. I've loved working with you, and I will continue to love working with you. All right, we are going to move up a full-time police hiring on the agenda. Police Chief Kelly, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Yardley Borough is served by dedicated police officers who provide services on various shifts, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and play a vital role in the efficient and effective delivery of services to our borough. Over the past 3+ years, recruitment and retention of qualified police officers has become a nationwide challenge. These challenges have made it difficult for all law enforcement agencies dependent on part-time personnel to fill vacant shifts and provide seamless service. Over the past 2 budgeting years, this challenge has been monitored by the Police Department and Borough Council, with primary oversight by the Public Safety and General Government Committees. It was determined that the addition of a full-time police officer would reduce training costs, reduce dependency on part-time police personnel, and ensure that Yardley Borough Police Department is in a position to provide the highest level of service to the public for 2024. Full-time Yardley Borough police officers are designated by State Borough Code as civil service police officers. As such, the hiring, promotion, and discipline of these officers must comply with State Borough Code and the rules and regulations of the Yardley Borough Civil Service Commission. As such, our appreciation to the Yardley Borough Civil Service Commissioners who advertised the position of police officer in a newspaper of general circulation in June 2022, received applications in July of 2022, administered a written and physical fitness exam in July of 2022, conducted oral board interviews with the assistance of 3 Bucks County Borough Police Chiefs approved by the Civil Service Commission. Our gratitude to the panel chair, Chief James Sabbath of Newtown Borough Police, and the other panelists, Chief Joseph Moores, Bristol Borough Police, Chief Michael Regan, Dublin Borough Police, and Chief Sean Perry of the Pendle Borough Police Department, who served as an alternate. In August 2022, the Civil Service Commission met and certified an eligibility list of 4 candidates with the combined scores for candidates passing the requirements and examination phases. The eligibility list was later certified by Yardley Borough Council on August 16th, 2022, and remains valid and in effect until August 2024. Of the 4 certified applicants, 1 was hired filling a vacancy in Yardley Borough in October 22. 2 others were hired by police agencies within Bucks County and voluntarily withdrew from consideration from our process. The remaining certified applicant who is presented for consideration this evening is Jake P. Kluczynski. Officer Kluczynski has faithfully served with the Yardley Borough Police Department since March of 2020 and is the recipient of 2 department unit commendations and a memorandum of commendation. Officer Kluczynski holds a bachelor degree and Police Academy certification, both from the Indiana University of Pennsylvania. I respectfully request Council consider a motion to hire Jake P. Kluczynski as a full-time civil service police officer, subject to the terms of probation set forth in the collective bargaining agreement.
Thank you, Chief Kelly. Do I hear a motion to that effect?
So moved.
I second.
Motion was made by Councilperson Siegel Morris, seconded by Councilperson Applebaum. Discussion from council? I would just like to say how excited I am that we are able to extend this offer to Officer Kuczynski. It has been a great honor to have him serving the force, and also thanks to Chief Kelly and the Public Safety Committee and all those who went through this hiring process and also who found money in our very tight budget so that the borough was able to do this for our residents. So thank you to all who helped with this. Any other comments from council? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0.
Jake, I need you up front. So good evening, everyone. Before we do this, just wanted to call to your attention, first of all, to Officer Kuczynski's family that's here. Don't take his responsibility, his duties with the Yardley Borough Police Department lightly, and thank you for allowing him to serve for our department, and we will do our best to take good care of him, I promise that. To everyone in the room, just call your attention to take a look around. Not only is Jake and his family here this evening, but we have current Yardley Borough Police officers, past Yardley Borough Police officers, chaplains, auxiliary police officers. This is a sign of what Yardley Borough is about, what the department is about, the chief and all of his officers top down have built. So congratulations to all of you for that. You ready to do this? Sir. All right, good. So please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Jake Patrick Kuczynski. I, Jake Patrick Kuczynski. Do solemnly swear. Do solemnly swear. That I will support, obey, and defend. That I will support, obey, and defend. The Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of this Commonwealth. The Constitution of this Commonwealth. Uphold the laws and ordinances. Uphold the laws and ordinances. Of the Borough of Yardley. Of the Borough of Yardley. And that I will discharge the duties. And that I will discharge the duties. Of a civil service police officer. Of a civil service police officer. Of the Borough of Yardley. Of the Borough of Yardley. With fidelity. With fidelity. And to the best of my judgment and ability. And to the best of my judgment and ability. Congratulations, welcome to full-time.
Do you have the list of all the reappointments? Are you going to announce them?
It's in the packet.
No, the appointments are, not the reappointments.
They are.
They are?
I saw them.
All right, prove me. Yeah, but the,
It's early on.
That'd be more humiliating.
you only see the,
You are. I think,
I don't see their name. Oh, it is in there?
and I don't think,
Help me find it.
oh, right, I forgot.
All right, you guys just gotta push it like you know each other, guys, get tight. All right, here you go.
What page is that?
Police officers, past and present, come on up.
24?
Chaplains, auxiliaries, everyone, come on up.
70 what?
The numbers aren't coming up.
All right, and there's a lot of cameras, like just everybody's just looking forward. Good.
I'm up to 87. In the beginning? Hey, Jarrett, do you know what page that was on?
I don't know the page number. The item number is 7B, but I don't think the packet has page numbers.
All right, I just accidentally found it. Thank you.
What?
Kim Sharp, Tom, Bob, Bouchard, Chuck Dolan. Okay. Thank you, appreciate it. And I have the, all right.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
Wait a minute, I gotta get the,
Space is coming.
I know you found it, but it's page 14, and you can't find the pages until you go to print.
and that's something.
Print pages. It's page 14.
I found a couple things for the events.
Did you?
Just a couple, nothing
In the
serious.
borough?
Yeah, second Saturday and just the farmer's market. Says so. Right here. New beginnings. That's last year. Let me just double check. Nope, it's this year. Yeah, the date's right.
Explain what it is.
No. But at least
Okay,
I,
moving back into our regular meeting agenda. Next item is reappointment of borough professionals. There are 3 items under this agenda item. Appointment of the borough engineer, which is Remington Vernick, appointment of the borough solicitor, Curtin and Hefner, and appointment of the right-to-know solicitor, Rudolph Clark. I think we can consider these matters together unless anyone wishes to consider one separately. So do I hear a motion to retain the existing borough professionals as submitted in the borough packet at the rate submitted in the borough packet?
So moved.
Is there a second?
second,
Motion was made by Councilperson Scherer, seconded by Councilperson Applebaum. I would like to just offer some clarifications for the public. The borough professionals serve at the pleasure of council. We have been rather inconsistent with doing formal professional evaluations of these professionals, handling things on a one-off basis. This year, we are doing a formal 360 review, which will include feedback from residents, from borough staff, and from council members who work most closely with those borough professionals to the benefit of the town and trying to keep what's good, fix what needs fixing in our relationships with these vendors. And those conversations are taking place this week and next week. Are there any other comments from anyone on council? Hearing none, I will call the question. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Community announcements. This is the portion of the meeting where members of council, the mayor, members of the public can make us aware of upcoming community events. Are there any community announcements this evening? First from council.
Yes, Madam President. Just a couple things. Number one, Experience Yardley is continuing with their second Saturdays, January 13th. It's called New Beginnings. And I also want to remind people that the winter Yardley Farmers Market begins this, was it December 2nd? I just got to double check. Yeah, it started December 2nd, so I guess right after the next, I don't know the next date, I apologize.
17th.
It's the 17th, thank you very much. That's from 10 to 12.
Or no?
first and third Saturdays. Oh, we're getting,
Sorry.
okay, wait, I'll double check just to make sure. You said it was the 13th?
We-
It's the first and third, so it'd be the,
The 7th and the 21st.
and that's a Sunday. Sorry, I'll find
13th and the 20th.
13th and the 20th. Thank you very much.
First and third? I'm sorry.
Look it up online, everyone. Thank you.
6th and the 20th, first and third, sorry.
When council figures out, we'll let you know.
Got a calendar.
All right, moving along.
You can always go to yardleyfarmersmarket.com and get the information from there. My apologies.
No problem. Anything else?
No, ma'am.
Any community announcements from the mayor? From the public? Hearing none, we will move on to public comment. This is the portion of the meeting where members of the public can address council on matters not on the agenda. We ask that you come forward, state your name and address, and keep your remarks to 3 minutes per matter. Any public comment this evening? Hearing none, we will move on to consideration of the consent agenda dated January 2nd, 2024. It is a lengthy consent agenda, which includes approval of the minutes dated December 5th, 2023, appointments and reappointments to the borough boards and commissions, certificate of appropriateness 23-39, 15 South Main Street for a sign, certificate of appropriateness 23-40, 40 South Main Street for a sign, certificate of appropriateness 23-41, 142 South Main Street for an air conditioning, certificate of appropriateness 23-42, 40 East Afton Ave for a sign, FEMA-funded 33 Brown Street elevation payment certificate number 5, alternates for the final. FEMA-funded 33 Brown Street elevation payment certificate number 7, final. FEMA-funded 46 Brown Street change order number 3. FEMA-funded 46 Brown Street payment certificate number 6. FEMA-funded 45 South Delaware Avenue elevation payment certificate number 5. FEMA-funded 45 South Delaware Avenue elevation payment certificate number 2, alternates. FEMA-funded 77 Morgan Ave elevation payment certificate number 4. FEMA-funded 25 North Delaware Ave elevation payment certificate number 1. Does any member of council wish to remove an item from consideration in the consent agenda? I will remove the first item, the minutes, since we were not all on council at the time. We will not be able to unanimously approve those. Any other matters?
I think appointments and reappointments to the borough should be spoken about separately.
Thank you. Any other removals from the consent agenda? Hearing none, we will vote on items C through N. Do I hear a motion to approve C through N?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Councilperson Scherer, seconded by Councilperson Siegel Morris. Discussion from council? Any discussion from the public? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously, 7-0. Do I hear a motion to approve the minutes dated December 5th, 2023?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion from council? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions?
Those are-
2, yes. Motion carries 5-0-2. Do I hear a motion to make the appointments and reappointments to borough boards and commissions as submitted?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Motion was made by Councilperson Scherer, seconded by Councilperson Applebaum. Discussion, please.
My concern is that I believe that Steve Andrews is seeking reappointment to the Parks and Rec Board, but his information was not in the packet, so I'm not sure if voting tonight would exclude him. And also, I just want to make sure that all of the people, all of these new appointments that we have, they're actual applications on file, not just the summaries of these.
May I address?
Yeah, I'm done.
First, I'd like Ms. Scherer to talk about Steve, because I didn't get that information, I don't believe. You handled that?
Yeah, I got a confirmation that he had handed it in.
Yeah, he was just left off the list, unfortunately. But if we can, I don't know if we can add him tonight or just wait till the next one, Andrew. That's
Yeah, you can add him in
Yeah.
if you so desire.
Because at first he wasn't seeking reappointment, then he decided to seek reappointment, so he was added later.
And I'm happy to vouch for him. I know him for at least 5 years. May,
Just so we're treating everyone the same and we have the opportunity to review the application, let's go ahead and add that one to the 116 council packet. And there were others that were incomplete. Ms. Siegel-Morris?
I don't know, I just want to make sure that the actual formal applications that are posted online have been completed by the applicants. I mean, so that we're following process and this doesn't, end up being a pain in the neck down the road. That's all. I was just checking that we have actual applications filled out and on file.
I do not have applications from quite a few of the new appointees. No.
I have the signed applications. What I turned in was the sheet for reappointments to you. That's what is in the package. I can send those after the meeting or by tomorrow.
Okay.
But aren't all of the people tonight, in the packet, new appointments
I could,
checked against the committee?
I was actually hoping to read their names and the position that they were applying for.
Sure, let's do that.
May I do that? First of all, for our vacancy board, I've Roger Crook, a longtime resident from North Main Street, I've known personally for many years, and he is, wants to be available for the community, and he accepted that position. I mean, not as an appointment, but I solicited him. I have, actually, I'd like to introduce one of our nominees for the Environmental Advisory Committee, Ambika Nambudiripad. Would you introduce yourself and?
Yes, yeah. I'm a resident of Yardley. My name is Ambika Nambudiripad. I'm here in the Yardley from 2006. Actually, I moved out from Chicago. I'm a geologist, basically. I used to work with the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection for a while. After that, I took a break because my kids are very active. Now they are in college. Now I'm back to work. I'm ready to serve the Borough Council as an environmental advisory committee.
I wanted to thank you for stepping up. I appreciate it. I've known Ambika for a number of years now. Our children went to school together, so again, thank you.
Thank you for attending tonight.
Yeah.
Good to see you here.
The second person that stepped up for the EAC was Tracy Hemerel. Again, it's a person with great experience, teaches environmental science in the Pennsbury School District. Park and Rec, I have Jill Duran, who is very excited to join, I believe was I believe, Caroline, you had recommended her as well as one other person, and is someone I think will do well in that position. Elise McGrath, also for Parks and Rec, same thing. For Human Relations, I have Lou Kasabi, who I've personally have known for a number of years and has a record of being involved in human relations and human resources, and has an LSW in social work and an MSW in psychiatric social work. So I thought that was a good match. And finally, Andrew Johnson, who's I believe he's he's a chemical engineer, and he was referred to us by a person on the sewer board already. I forgot his last name. His name's Matt. I spoke to him, and he has outstanding credentials and has the interest in being on the sewer board. With that said, I'd like to have the council accept them as the new appointments.
Thank you, Councilperson Applebaum, and thank you, Councilperson Scherer, for both doing all the work to do these interviews and reference checks. I'm going to suggest that we hear an amended motion that approves these submissions pending the signed applications being filed with Borough Hall prior to our next council meeting. If we don't receive them, we'll revisit on the next agenda.
I will have those by tomorrow. I don't see a problem with that.
Thank you. Can you make that amended motion, Councilperson Shara, since you made the original motion? Just approval of the applications pending receipt by Borough Hall of the full applications.
Okay,
You can just say so moved, if you'd like. And do you second that motion, Councilperson Applebaum?
Yes, I second it.
Thank you. Any further discussion from council? All right, just making sure our Ts are crossed and our Is are dotted. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries 7. Thank you, Mr. Finer. Motion carries unanimously. Chief Kelly, do you have anything in addition to the hiring?
I do, ma'am. I have monthly service statistics for 2023, December, and also year-end. In December 2023, the police department handled 495 calls for service and ended the year with 7,323 calls for service. In December, we issued 10 parking tickets and ended the year with 35, issued 40 traffic citations and ended the year with 786, did not issue any non-traffic citations and ended the year with 6, investigated 8 motor vehicle accidents and ended the year with 80, and made 49 arrests in December, 2 arrests in December, 49 for 2023, one of which was for DUI this month, and 8 DUI arrests overall this year. The only other item I have, ma'am, involves the auxiliary police's Socks for the Streets. They compiled numbers today for the end of the campaign, which ended on New Year's Eve, and I believe they collected 1,215 pairs of socks over that campaign, so outstanding effort by the auxiliary police on that. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Chief Kelly. Manager Johnson.
I'm here for the stats for December. 2024 budget, as we all know, was adopted on December 5th. Zoning permits, we had 7, 0 zoning hearing boards. Building permits, we only had 8. As we know, December's a little slower. 4 UNOs and 4 trash certifications. We haven't received our December real estate transfer tax. First quarter trash statements have been mailed, and we're receiving a good number of payments already, and a good number are paying for the full year. We had 1 right to know for December. No money was spent on this topic. Chief told you about the auxiliary. The North Pole mailbox was a huge hit this year. We had close to 100 letters that were sent in, and I heard from the big guy himself. He answered over 50 of them. So I think there's a lot of happy kids out there, and I'm sure they're happy now that Christmas came. As you're aware, we had a high water event in December, and as always, our team worked together very well with the police department and emergency management, got the word out. We helped any residents in need, and I appreciate all their efforts. I wanted to let everybody know that the borough received a donation of $1,000 from the Yardley Farmers Market that we put towards the upkeep of the park. Our Walk in the Mile is really growing. We visited 3 additional businesses in December, and we actually have some businesses calling saying, when are you coming to us next? But just to let everybody know, we put everybody in the hat and we pull them out, so it's spread out, and it's not just restaurants, it's businesses as well. Like we visited Jeff Schrader, the CPA, this month, or in December. We went to the Historical Association, and we also visited the Ye Olde Yardley Florist because there's businesses all over town. And that is my report for this month.
Thank you. I have consensus from council to accept the finance report dated January 2nd. Thank you. Moving on to the engineer's report.
Thank you. We've issued our engineer's report. If there are no questions on that, we could just move on to the project updates.
Any questions on the engineer's report?
Okay. Moving on is regarding Mary Yardley Bridge. I just want to give an update. There was a meeting this morning with DCNR, and we reviewed the temporary trail configuration as well as the ramp design that was presented to council in November. They were pretty acceptable to those modifications. So we'll be coordinating those efforts further with the borough and the contractor so we can move forward in addition to DCNR.
Thank you. Any questions on that? Anything further?
No, that concludes my report.
Thank you. Solicitor's report, please.
No report this evening.
Mayor's report.
I just wanted to congratulate everyone on your elected term. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you.
And congratulations on being the only one not on the ballot.
Thank you very much.
All right, council member reports. So you'll see on the agenda, nothing's assigned. I didn't want to assume anything, so I will now that I am president accept your recommendations for where you'd like to sit in terms of boards and commissions. So if you could please send me before the next meeting your first preference, second preference, and third preference. And if you would like to or would not like to chair a committee, that would be very helpful. I think for the most part, we usually place everyone where they want to be. Does anybody have a council member report for any work that they've done since our last meeting on their previous committees?
If I may, not a report, just wanted to make another introduction if possible. Jesse Clark, who is on our Environmental Advisory Committee. We had a very nice and long conversation about the direction that the EAC should go in, and I wanted to thank you for stepping up and possibly having a leadership role. So if you have something that you want to contribute, say tonight?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me on the environmental committee. I'm excited to help out. I've been a Yardley resident for almost 2 years now. Time goes by fast. Yeah, I'm excited to help out. My background is I'm a political scientist by trade, expert in policy and some geography. So I'm excited to use my policy chops to help out.
Thank you.
Thank you for serving. The EAC is getting reborn, it sounds like. Very good.
Yeah.
And while we're doing introductions, Mr. Stump, would you like to introduce yourself to the community? I completely glossed over welcoming you to the big table.
Okay. Goodness, I don't know what to say. You put me on the spot there a little bit. So
Never known you not to be able to say something.
well, that's true. So yeah, my name is Jared Stump. I've been a resident of Yardley since June of 2017. I remember it as 2 days before Pretty Bird opened. I had been a resident of Lawrenceville, and I moved here from Harrisburg after I met a girl from Ewing, and I had before moved up here from Texas, and I told her I wouldn't. Well, I did move to New Jersey for her for 5 months and decided I would be as close to New Jersey as I could be, but still be in Pennsylvania because I didn't move to Texas from New Jersey. So anyway, make a long story short, we would go to the gym oftentimes together in the mornings, and I would, instead of driving home, I would come to the Yardley Starbucks to do my work. And one day I saw a for rent sign go up and decided that's where I wanted to live. And so the rest is history. So about a year later, we got married. That was our first home. Very fortunately, we bought a house before COVID because that space was only 500 square feet. And so we're now still married, which is nice. And yeah, so over the years, I've fallen in love with the town. We only made it about a quarter mile away when we bought our house because we wanted to be right in the center of the borough. I remember telling our realtor that I needed a house for under $400,000. It had to be in Yardley Borough, and it couldn't be attached to another house. And she said, good luck. You're probably not going to find what you're looking for. A few months later, I brought her a listing, said I want this one. We were able to beat out the other offer. And so that is our commitment specifically to Yardley Borough in particular. Then during COVID, I started an Instagram account called Yardley_Borough, which is not officially affiliated with the borough, but it just is a place to build community and bring people together. I work in digital marketing, social media by trade. And so because everyone was socially distant, I was like, well, this sucks. We're just moved into this new house, and I know no one in town. And so I started this Instagram page to get to know more people in the community, discovered council as they started streaming the meetings and learned that was a fantastic form of entertainment. Somewhere along the line, I think Caroline sent me a friend request on Facebook, and over several conversations, I think it was actually when Chief and Paula asked me in Wawa one morning if I would consider running for council, and they were, I think, the third and fourth people to ask me. I said, okay. I said, I think I'll run, and yeah, so that's my story. I'm probably leaving some things out, but I love Yardley and love being here. Growing up, I never had a community. I've lived in 14 different houses. Had never lived anywhere longer than 9 years. I've been in Yardley Borough 7. And so
Two more.
essentially what I decided for myself and for my family was that I wanted to make Yardley my hometown. And so I'm on a mission to do that and don't ever plan to leave.
And we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Any other council member reports this evening?
I'd just like to make a comment. Ori and myself attended the Planning Commission's meeting last month, and Councilman Thompson attended the month before. They are putting together an RFP to do the strategic plan, comprehensive plan. And at our next working session, which will be coming up on the 16th or whenever, we're going to send you before that. I'm going to ask them to send to each of us in the council what that RFP looks like, because in that they've tried to scope out what we want to get out of the redo of the comprehensive plan. And so they're going to come here. Hopefully you can all read it beforehand so that they can engage with us to make sure we feel that they're going down the right path, asking for the right kind of interaction, right kind of creation of a comprehensive plan. So I just wanted to warn you about that. That'll be in your packet, so do your homework for the next session.
And separately from that, but related, we are working on drafting up in-house grant language to attempt to fund 50% of the full ticket amount of getting a firm to do our comprehensive plan. There is a grant available specifically for that. That is a 50-50 match. So we're hoping our chances are good with that. Any other council member reports? Thank you, Councilperson Carlson. Are there any discussion items that were not submitted for the council packet? Moving on to other business, item A, discussion of the borough manager's performance review and consideration of the borough manager's agreement and performance-based salary increase. So for those of you who don't know, Manager Johnson's cannot be appointed to her position longer than the next municipal election term. So we do a performance review every year. We consider a performance-related increase every year, but her contract does come up for renewal after every municipal election. So in your packet, you will see the agreed-upon goals that she had last year that were circulated to council last spring. There are several parts: financial management, people management, project management, communication and relationships, and then she has a special project section which centered on the comprehensive plan and preparing for that as we move into '24. Her performance review included strength areas. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those, and then 3 areas that we feel she could grow in and improve in. Those have been communicated to Manager Johnson, and based on all of those things that you can hopefully have reviewed in full, we are recommending a 4% exceeds expectation increase for Manager Johnson for 2024. Just for reference, cost of living this year was 3%, so it's cost of living plus 1. And I would entertain a motion to approve that performance-based salary increase.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilperson Siegel-Moore, seconded by Councilperson Scherer. Any discussion from council?
I would just like to say that I think Manager Johnson does an excellent job. She's always responsive, no matter what time of the day it is, and no matter what kind of question it is, she's there with an answer, and no matter how crazy the question. So I really appreciate having her on board.
I'd like to echo that and add that Paula has been very patient with me as one of the newbies who asks a lot of questions and bothers her down here, and I appreciate you working with me. But also, I also want to thank Caroline for helping create a very structured expectation list and improvement areas that we identified, and it was obvious that Paula took that to heart and worked on the things that needed to be worked on, and continued to exceed on the ones that we're already doing very, very well. So the whole process has been positive for 2024, in my opinion, 2023.
Yeah, I'd just like to picture everyone, and I think I've said this before, who has not served in a municipal job, having your bosses turn over every 2 years and having your salary and performance litigated in public during a live stream meeting. So it's definitely not for the faint of heart. You have a thick skin and you do this borough proud, and I think we're very fortunate to have you where you're sitting. So with that, if there's no further comments, I will call the question. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Aye. Abstentions? Motion carries 7-0. And going along with that, I would entertain a motion to re-up the borough manager's agreement. It is pretty much the same with the exception of vacation. It will increase 1 day next year and 1 day the following year. And then the salary is increased by 4%. Otherwise, it's the same. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Any second? Motion was made by Councilperson Scherer, seconded by Councilperson Stump. Discussion from council? From the public? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries 7-0. Congratulations. Another 2 years on your sentence.
Thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity as well.
The next item on the agenda relates to consideration of the zoning hearing board decision for Abrams Hebrew Academy. Because this matter involves receiving legal counsel, we are going to enter into a short executive session, the purpose of which will be to discuss potential litigation and an appeal against this zoning hearing board decision. At the conclusion of the executive session, we will welcome the public back up for a potential vote and discussion with the public. I gotcha. Welcome back, Mr. Woodring. Is there anything you'd like to say in opening? Any new questions you have? So we thought we'd start by just reading out the conditions on the decision. I assume that you've read it, we've all read it. So one, the applicant cooperates with the borough in the preparation and execution of a maintenance agreement which addresses the concerns expressed by the board and members of the public at the hearing, including but not limited to hydraulic analysis, repairs to the installation, silt management, observation wells, pretreatment device, normal visual inspections at agreed intervals, and overall maintenance and care of the improvements contemplated by the project. 2, that Yardley Borough make available to any resident who requests them any hydraulic report and/or hydraulic analysis on file with the borough with relation to the project. 3, the applicant comply with all future requirements and recommendations of the Yardley Borough engineer in the Bucks County Conservation District having to do with the project. So I'd like to open this up to discussion from council, but I feel like those 3 conditions are very good for us in that they allow us to share in the preparation and execution of a maintenance agreement, and also with respect to recommendations made by the borough engineer and the conservation district, and that the project to move forward must comply with those things. And in appealing, we would lose those conditions as well. My hope is that prior to the next meeting on the 16th, we can have the parties at a table, representatives from council, from Abrams, in a meeting, and then we could have a portion where the public could participate as well, if Abrams is open to that, in which we discuss what that maintenance plan might look like. And then, obviously, we can't require more than what our ordinances dictate with regard to stormwater management, but we can ask, and we can think with them, what would it look like if we went a bit further, given the severe concerns of the residents and Yardley Borough with regard to erosion. The clock on appealing is 30 days, so we could vote on an appeal tonight. We can also vote on appeal on the 16th. Others' thoughts? No other thoughts?
Very well said.
Yeah, I concur.
Mr. Woodring, any comments?
I'm just trying to understand,
Mr. Woodring, can you come up to the table so they can hear you?
yes, I don't understand the mechanism by which what would be the mechanism by which that conversation would happen?
Well, first taking a step back, we talked about this at the last meeting at the beginning of December. The variances don't directly relate to the underlying problem that the residents and council wish to address with regard to erosion in the waterbed. So it is helpful that the conditions of this granted variance do kind of address those issues, in that they require the applicant to cooperate with the borough in drafting a maintenance agreement that addresses the concerns of the board and the concerns of the public in the hearing, which encompasses most of the public comment at the hearing was related to stormwater.
Correct.
So that's the wrapped up package that's in this decision that we can run with. And so the goal would be to have that meeting where we discuss drafting the maintenance agreement, which considers all of those things, prior to the 16th, and we'll see how it goes, and we'll revisit on the 16th.
And so without that document, without the maintenance document being drafted, the decision was pending that. So if that document doesn't exist, I'm just trying to understand the order of operations.
Yeah, can you speak to if at any point they don't comply to the conditions, what would happen?
So the maintenance agreement, obviously, it needs to be drafted in good faith. It's not something that we can just sit and delay on and never enter into an agreement with them just to delay the project. And the same thing with them, you know, if they don't agree to certain conditions or we're not able to reach a resolution as far as the maintenance agreement goes, the project is stuck until they take legal action to force our hand. And it could end up in court theoretically, you know, just over what that maintenance agreement should be, but I wouldn't anticipate that would occur.
So who has the pen? Who has the power of the pen for the drafting of the maintenance
So
agreement?
typically, the solicitor would take the lead on drafting a maintenance agreement, and that's what we contemplate doing here. So we obviously have sort of a typical maintenance agreement, and then we would also add, you know, terms to cater to this particular project.
So, I mean, it still seems, without that, it's approved, but we haven't had that. It can't be held back in good faith. But there's no real mechanism to force anyone on Abrams or ML7's end to come to the table and participate in that process.
Well, they're going to want to proceed with the project. They cannot proceed with the project unless that agreement is entered into. So it's a condition of them moving forward. There's nothing they can do until that agreement's entered into.
Okay. So that is the mechanism that you all are proposing as the piece that can.
Well, conversely, we appeal with, in my opinion, a very weak argument, and we're appealing variances that we don't necessarily disagree with. Because again, they're not related to the issue of erosion directly.
So there's sort of two phases. You know, the maintenance agreement is basically an agreement and a promise by them that they will maintain and uphold the stormwater conditions and improvements that they build on the site. So that's their guarantee that they're going to continue to maintain those. In addition to that, they also have to meet the stormwater management ordinance in conjunction with the review done by Pat's office. So they have to meet his conditions and then also enter into this agreement.
As an extension of our ordinances, but this allows a vessel for us to very closely monitor things as they move forward and make revisions on an ongoing basis if they're not to plan,
Right.
or if things are happening that weren't supposed to be happening.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk about the terms of the maintenance agreement, 10 years or something like that.
The maintenance agreement falls with the property, and so they have to maintain the stormwater on their property unless they change something, then they need to make a revision and submit it back to the borough for review. So they can't touch that stormwater facility in, like, let's say if they, 20 years in the future, if they want to put a building addition where they're putting the athletic field, they're touching the stormwater facility, so they need to come back with a new plan on it. So they need to, that stormwater gets, they have to maintain it yearly and during the storms, and we request, the owners to submit a document that they've been, inspecting their facilities throughout the year.
Other comments? Or you have any comments?
I think that, just to zoom out for a moment, it's clearly an issue that we need to resolve. And the question is, what's the best mechanism? My hope is that Abrams wants a good relationship with the borough, and that's the history. And then we can bring the stakeholders together and try to solve this
Any other comments? Does anyone want to make a motion this evening to consider an appeal on this decision?
I just want clarification that
Yep.
there's no, if we delay our decision till the 16th,
We have 30 days.
that's still within the 30 days.
We
Yeah,
have 30
okay.
days from the decision.
Okay.
so-
And so whether we decide tonight or we decide on the 16th doesn't hurt, and it doesn't slow anybody down. In fact, we have more leverage if we delay.
Yeah, we're well within the timeframe.
Okay.
Yeah, I would just say, you obviously don't need an affirmative vote not to do anything.
Yeah,
So-
just leaving it open if anybody wants to make a motion.
Right.
I feel like there's contemplative silence, so I don't want to close the meeting if there's further things to say. Mr. Woodring, anything else? Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting? So moved. Is there a second? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned at 8:51.